The very latest with the island's weather, but first, a verdict has been reached in the Blue House Lounge case. Joining us live on the line with the latest is Mindy Uggan.
Police officers Anthony Kenga and David Manila sat with their heads over their eyes and their heads hung low this afternoon as Superior Court Judge Anita Sokola read off from the verdict forms this afternoon. The two officers are accused of conspiring with Blue House Lounge owner Songja Cha to force women into prostitution. Today, a jury of 6 men and 6 women found Kenga and Manila guilty of charges of conspiracy to commit kidnapping, conspiracy to commit felonious restraint, conspiracy to compel prostitution, compelling prostitution, conspiracy to promote prostitution, as well as promoting prostitution, first-degree criminal sexual conduct, second-degree CSC, attempted CSC, criminal intimidation, and official misconduct. Now, we should note the jury did find the two not guilty on certain counts of those charges that I just mentioned for instances where they did not feel it applied to certain victims' names in the indictment. Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley says he is pleased with the verdict and thanks the work of the FBI and GPD officer Tracy Volta, saying their effort in getting the convictions cannot be underestimated. O'Malley says the verdict serves as a strong reminder to members of law enforcement that they will be held to a higher standard. He said, quote, "These are just 2 individuals who are bad apples in the bunch." He says the rest are a tremendous crew. O'Malley saying he's very saddened that these were officers who took an oath to uphold the law and they violated their oath. And he says that it's not just for GPD, this message, but for all people in law enforcement, that they must follow the law. Now, Kenga's attorney, Sylvia Stake, feels like she has failed her client. She said she doesn't believe that the jury understood and were affected by this the criminal sexual conduct accusation. She says, you compare this with how Mario Laksamana, who was a co-defendant in the case who pled out early, she says how he got off with 1 felony and the rest were just dismissed. She says there were a lot of other things that didn't come out about Mario, and it is not justice. She says it's not fair. This treatment is too disparate, and she thinks that the jury did not understand all of the legal issues. She hopes that her client appeals, but she says she hopes that he finds a new attorney to look at the case with what she says a fresh set of eyes. Now, as for Manila's attorney, Terry Timblin, he tells KUAM that he will be filing an appeal, as he says there were substantial legal issues involved in this case which were not addressed by the court, including what he says a motion for acquittal that noted a number of defects in the indictment that the defense was claiming. Timblin says that the court simply did not address those issues, so there will be an appeal. He says there are substantial legal issues about the case, and the judge did not address those. And so, again, he will be filing an appeal on behalf of his client, Officer David Manila. Now, we should note that Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley did indicate that the AG's office will be seeking life sentences against the 2 police officers who will remain behind bars. They are scheduled to be sentenced on November 8th. Reporting live from the Superior Court in Hagåtña, I'm Mindy Uggan. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mindy. Again, breaking news, the Blue House Lounge case, a verdict has been reached. Anthony Kenga and David Manila, both police officers with the Guam Police Department, have been found guilty on almost all the charges. Sentencing has been scheduled for the month of November, and the AG's office has indicated they plan on seeking life sentences.